All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. My name is Judson Powell, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons for me. Okay, now, I made a post yesterday, and I called it "Trump is an idiot," and so I did it on I did it on purpose. I did and I didn't, but I knew that would bring the Trumpians. I figured it would bring the Trumpians out. And so, so I had a lot of comments on my YouTube page. And first of all, I would like to just put this one thing out there. Like, if you're gonna get mad at me or whatever, please at least listen to the video or watch the video first. That'll make me feel a lot better. At least if you watch the video, then we got like at least a common ground that we can base some type of interaction on. All right. But but the usual comment, whenever you talk about, white supremacy or white nationalism or anything like that, the first comment you always get a comment from a white person that comes in and says, "Well, I'm white. Do you hate me?" And so I always laugh at that, because to me that's hilarious, because, they believe that somehow you hate all white people, but it's not. Once again, we have to show this in mass. First of all, I don't hate anybody, right? I love everybody. And that's why I always tell y'all to hit the love button. All the time I tell people to love each other, love one another, do whatever you can to, to try to, and even my wife says, "Oh, you're always trying to make, peace." But the one thing that you can always, like every religion, the one thing that they have in common is that they talk about peace. It's like the creation of peace. Jesus is the peace of, the Prince of Peace, or whatever they call him. And, in Islam, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum means, peace be unto you. And everybody's always talking about peace, 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 peace. Shalom, peace. Okay. So I do try to bring peace, but then again, sometimes the truth does not bring peace. And I'm also a person that likes truth. All right. I mean, really, I don't compromise the truth. The truth is the truth. And in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, I don't believe in any type of supremacy at all. I believe in what? Human supremacy. In people's supremacy. And what do I mean by that? I mean that no one is superior to anybody. Everybody, and it goes back even to, the type of things that Dr. King said, that a person should be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. If you're a low character person, you're a low character person. I don't care if you're black, white, green, purple, or red. The bottom line is you should want your actions and your character, your integrity and everything to line up so that you're a good person. And I think in one of my videos, I talked about being a good citizen of the world, being a good world citizen. I don't want to see harm come to anybody. And at the end of the day, everybody pretty much wants the same thing, which is peace. You don't want to you want to be able to take care of your family, be able to have food in your stomach and a roof over your head. And that's the wish and the hope and the dream of most people in the world. And I think that us in the United States, we kind of take that for granted, even though our homeless numbers are growing every day. But, like I tell people all the time, if you have a working refrigerator, running water, and a toilet that flushes, then you live better than 70% of the people in the world. I mean, think about it. So what we think of, oh, we're not blessed, I mean, we're blessed beyond measure. And no, I don't hate white people. What I hate is white supremacy. That white people think that they are better than us. And I also hate white privilege, thinking that I deserve something because I am white, or white nationalism, which says that, oh, this country is for white people, by white people, and of white people, when technically they didn't really have a whole lot to do, with building the country. I mean, they thought about doing it, but the actual work that was the labor came from hands that were not white. And then to discredit or to not give credit at all for those type of things, that's wrong. Plain and simple is wrong. So no, nobody. And the other thing is, nobody is mad at a, and I always use this. Nobody is mad at an Italian because they like Italian food. If they want lasagna and pizza or whatever, nobody says anything. But if I want fried chicken and watermelon, then all of a sudden it's a negative connotation to it. Think about it. And it's not like, I mean, the bottom line is we are taught not to like our culture, or not to like, things that are in our culture, or our culture is looked at as negative, but it's not. It's the same as any other culture. We like certain food, we like, certain music, we like certain dance, we like certain art, we like all those different types of things. But why is ours, all of a sudden put down? And the funny thing about it is, it's always appropriated and it's always stolen. People use our slang, our language, everything. Most of the pop culture is based upon things that Africans and the descendants of Africans do. But it's always discredited. But if I go out there and I'm pro-black, if I'm pro-African or pro-descendants of Africans and say anything positive about it, then all of a sudden somehow I'm a racist just because I love me. It's illegal to love me, or y'all think it's illegal for me to love me. I can't love me. If I love me, then somehow is something is wrong. But if you tell an Italian not to love Italians, they look at you like you're crazy. You can't or if you told somebody from Russia not to love Russia, they look at you like you're crazy. Poland not to love Poland, Romania not to love Romania. And all these places have their own culture. They have their own civilization. They have their, their certain things that they like. So like I said, once again, food, dance, art, music, all these different things. Well, our culture is infinite. I mean, we have so many different, you take it, and that's why I tell everybody all the time, stop going to all these other places and go to Africa. And go to some of these countries in Africa and see what your culture really is, and see where you came from. Figure out where your ancestors came from, and go there. And then you can find out, because that's the one thing we always talk about, and one thing I don't like a lot of times about black folks is that they sit up there and they complain and this, that, and the other thing. Oh, they stole our culture. Well, actually, they really didn't steal our culture. Our culture is there. Our culture is still here. It's just that we don't embrace it. It's like even the African, African American culture, things like jazz and blues, things like that, and some of the other cultural things that we have, we don't embrace them. But for some reason, Caucasians, descendants of Europeans, embrace those things and still love them. And we're always trying to move on to the next thing, as opposed to showing love to things that we already created. And that's true, especially like in music and in art. They'll go out and pay a whole bunch of money for a painting, by a black artist or something that's very special, very creative, and they'll pay money for it. We won't. And like I said, especially with jazz and blues, I mean, if you don't listen, if you don't listen to Thelonious Monk or John Coltrane or Miles Davis, if you don't know their music and you're a black person, you should be ashamed of yourself. Or if you don't know Big Mama Thornton or people like that, where they stole our music from. If you don't understand, if you don't know those artists, if you can't name me a few songs by Holland, Dozier, Holland, or you get what I'm trying to say. You should be able to be versed in all of that as a black person in America. That's our culture. nobody, because even though y'all tried to steal our culture, we kept inventing culture. And even when it comes down to to the whole church thing, even in church, think about, if you can't name me some Inez Andrews or James Cleveland or songs like that, and I it's like y'all can't do it, but y'all can tell me, y'all can say "Stomp" by Kirk Franklin and everybody. So I don't hate anybody. I just hate the fact that you try to discredit my people. And once again, just like yesterday, even on the video yesterday when I was talking to y'all about inventions, every invention of the 19th, 20th, and 21st century is what has sustained the world. And it's been by Africans and the descendants of Africans. And that's the truth. It's not that I hate nobody. It's just that, but admit that we invented the internet. Admit that we invented the cell phone. Admit, that we invented the telephone. Admit that we invented the light bulb. Admit that we were the engineers that created rocket science. Admit it. And stop trying to take credit for what we do. And just say, well, how come you can't stand it? It's just like the whole thing with Trump trying to blame Obama for everything that he's doing wrong. It's like, take responsibility for your own stuff, or don't take responsibility if you didn't do it. Y'all take responsibility for stuff. Just, we can even go back down to the, I keep bringing this up, I know, but we can go back down to the whiskey, to Jack Daniels. Now this man, this man invented this liquor, and y'all didn't put his name nowhere on the bottle. And made billions of dollars off of it over the course of time. And never gave him credit for any of it. And that's all I'm trying to say. Even what's that? I can't even think of the brother's name. The brother that made the super soaker, that water gun, black dude. Okay, why can't I think of his name? I know his name and I can't call it. But look, they took the royalties, they took all the money from it and everything. Same thing with music. Little Richard just passed away. Little Richard, until Michael Jackson got a lot of money, and they owe Michael Jackson a lot of money because of the Thriller album. And it wasn't until he was able to rebuy the rights to Little Richard's music that Little Richard got paid. Y'all stole everything. And that's what we don't like. It's like, it ain't got nothing to do with, we happy for y'all. If y'all, but do stuff honestly and with integrity, and with compassion. It's like just like Sly Stone. Like Sly Stone right now, the leader of Sly and the Family Stone is walking around. He's homeless and broke. And this man, and y'all use this man to make millions. Millions. But won't nobody give him his music. He don't even own the rights to his own music. And everybody can say whatever they want, but everybody is not contractually smart. Everybody does it, so if you run up a contract and say, "Oh, sign right here," and then we trained up a whole generation of people to do that to other people. L.A. Reid, Puffy. We train people how to do it to our own people. And, today is Malcolm X's birthday, so we can kind of analogize with, they'll hire somebody to do you in, hire one of us to do us in. I'm just saying, and these are self-evident truths, because the manifestation. See, you can't always trust what people say, but you can trust the manifestation of what people say. The manifestation. That's why I always tell y'all are manifestors, and whatever it is you manifest, that's what was truly truth. That's the truth that was in your heart and in your mind. See, all this other stuff is BS, but what you manifest, that's real, right? It's like my son. I never forget my son one day. He said, "Dad, a lot of people tell you they love you, but you show people you love them." My son said that to me when he was little too. He wasn't even old. And I cried. Anyway, I should say that. Anyway, fastest 15 minutes is up. Remember, it's what you manifest. And I don't hate anybody. I don't, especially not white people. I don't hate y'all, but give us credit. White supremacy is wrong. Black supremacy is wrong. Yellow supremacy is wrong. Red supremacy is wrong. Purple supremacy is wrong. Green supremacy is wrong. Supremacy of any kind is wrong because everybody has the single common denominator. And what's that? We all, nobody, my words and my grandma, none of us make it out of here alive. I love you, grandma, my great ancestor.